That winter, the world outside was hard and white. The wind cut through the trees, and the snow fell without stopping. But inside one small house, a single candle burned, and a mother sat beside the cradle of her sick child. She had not slept for 3 nights. She held the small hand of her baby and was afraid to let go, as if she felt that the moment her fingers loosened, something would slip away forever. She was right to be afraid. There came a knock at the door. An old man stepped inside, wrapped in a heavy blanket, trembling from the cold. The mother took pity on him. She walked away from the cradle just for a moment to pour him a cup of ale and warm it by the stove. While she was gone, the old man sat beside the child and began to rock the cradle quietly. She had turned her back for only a heartbeat. But when she turned around, the old man was gone, and the child was gone with him. The candle had gone out on its own. The clock in the corner had stopped. Its heavy weight had sunk to the floor, and on the boards where the old man had sat, there were no footprints of snow, no wet stain from a melting blanket, as if no one had ever stepped inside her home. That old man had been death himself. The mother ran out into the freezing night. Her voice went out into the darkness and did not come back to her. By the side of the road, sitting on the bare snow, was a woman wrapped in a long black robe. The mother knew at once who she was. She was Night herself. "I saw where death carried your child," said Night without turning her head. "But I will not tell you the way, not unless you give me something first." "I have nothing left to give," whispered the mother. "I have no coat. I have no child." "You have your songs," said Night quietly. "Sing me every lullaby you ever sang to your little one. I have heard them before, you know. I have passed your window every night. Sing them all to me now, and then I will speak." And so the mother sang. In the freezing dark, on her knees in the snow, she sang every soft melody she had ever whispered over his cradle, every quiet song that had ever rocked him to sleep. Her voice broke. Her tears froze on her cheeks. But she did not stop. One by one, she gave away every song she had, until there were no songs left inside her. Night listened, without a word, without pity, without moving. And when the last note faded into the darkness, Night raised one hand and pointed into the forest. "Go," she said. "He passed this way." But the mother walked on, through the snow, through the night, through the pain that grew with every step. A thorn bush rose in her path, black and bare in the dead winter forest. The bush asked her for warmth, in return for showing her the way. The mother pressed it to her heart without hesitation. The thorns sank deep into her skin, and her blood ran down her arms onto the snow. And then, something strange. The bush bloomed against her chest in the dead of winter. Red roses opened on her body, flowers made entirely of her own blood. And when it had bloomed, it showed her the path. After the forest came a great black lake stretching to the horizon without a single shore in sight. The ice was too thin to walk on, and the water too deep to cross. The mother knelt at the edge and was ready to drink the whole lake dry. A mad thought, but grief makes mad thoughts. And then the lake itself spoke to her. "That is not possible," said the lake. "But you and I, we might make a bargain." "I have nothing left," said the mother. "You have your eyes," said the lake. "I love to collect pearls, and your eyes are the clearest I have ever seen. Weep them into me, and I will carry you to the great glass house where death lives." And so the mother wept, She wept for everything she had lost. She wept for everything she had given. She wept for so long and so bitterly that her eyes themselves fell into the water, like two pearls sinking slowly into the dark. And the lake, having taken what it wanted, lifted her up and carried her across to the other side. She stepped onto the far shore, blind. Before her stood a great house of dark glass, the Garden of Death, and at its gates sat an old woman, white as frost, tending to a single trembling flower in her hands. "I am the gardener of death," she said without looking up. "I know every flower in this place. I know which one belongs to your child." "Then take me to him," said the mother. "Not without payment," said the old woman. "Give me your dark hair. Take my gray hair in return, and I will lead you to your child's flower." And the mother gave her hair. She did not weep. She had no eyes left to weep with. She did not protest. She bowed her head, and her dark hair fell into the old woman's hands, and gray hair grew in its place. She had aged a lifetime in a single night. And the old woman stepped aside. Beyond the gates, a vast garden opened before her under arches of dark glass. In the silence, thousands of flowers glowed softly in the dim air, white and red and blue. Each flower was someone's life. Each flower was someone's soul. Some of them burned brightly. Others flickered, ready to go out at any moment. There were so many that the edges of the garden disappeared into darkness, and every one of them was breathing. The whole garden was breathing together, slowly and quietly, and that was the most terrible thing of all. And among the flowers, tall and silent, moved Death himself. He walked slowly between the rows, patient and unhurried, and as he passed, he breathed gently on the brightest flowers, and one by one, they faded into the dark soil. This was his work. This had always been his work. He turned to the mother. "How did you find me?" he asked her gently. But there was no surprise in his voice, only something that sounded almost like tired respect. The mother looked across the rows of flowers, and somehow, with her blind eyes, she saw a small one, pale, drooping, half-faded already. She knew at once it was her child. She lunged forward, reaching for the brightest, healthiest flowers around it. She would tear them all from the ground. She would not leave without him, no matter who else had to suffer. But Death caught her wrist. Gently, without anger. "Stop," he said. "You are unhappy, and now you would make another mother just as unhappy as you are?" The mother froze. "Yes, this one is your child," said Death quietly. "But before you take him, look at what his life could be." And Death pointed to two flowers among the thousands. Two lives, two futures. In the first, she saw light and peace and long, quiet years. In the second, she saw nothing but hunger, pain, despair, and a slow withering away into nothing. "One of these will be his life if you take him home," said Death quietly. "Which of the two, I will not tell you." The mother looked at both flowers with her blind eyes, and somehow she saw them anyway. In the Garden of Death, everyone sees the truth, whether they want to or not. And that was the real punishment. She wanted to seize him and run. She wanted to scream, but instead, she sank to her knees in the dark soil of that garden, and she whispered the words that perhaps cost her more than everything else she had given that night. "Lord, do not hear me. Do not hear me when I ask for what should not be. Let your will be done, not mine. Death carried the child away into the unknown land, as he had always meant to, and the mother remained standing in the dark garden, alone, blind, with blood still on her hands, with empty palms held open before her dark hair gone, her songs gone, her child gone. She had given everything she had, and in the end, she still let go.